blood creeping up from the heathens. Got will, got fight.
Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Today we got Madison, my wife, in here finally, so y'all can see her pretty face. We're gonna go over a little bit about the setup on the truck and what we're doing with it. We do have a lot of big updates going on with it. If y'all follow me on Facebook or our H8TRAIN page, you'll see that the motor's posted for sale, the truck's posted for sale, anything really to do with it's posted for sale. No, we're not getting out. We're just trying to make some big changes. What we're going to talk about today is not anything to do with the big upgrades on the truck or anything. We're not ready just yet to talk about it, but we want to go over some of the electronics and stuff like that. So we had about 25 passes on the truck before we decided to make some big changes in that they were necessary. With the major race that was a real deciding factor for us was Texas Radial Roundup over in Enos, Texas. That was about a six and a half hour drive, something like that for us. And it was the longest we have all been up racing since we've been doing this for years. It was absolutely insane. Fantastic deal. It was a blast, but it was a real eye opener. So y'all know we run Holley Dominator setup on the truck. I have pretty much everything that you could have for the Holley Dominator. I just never unlocked traction control, so we've never used traction control tables. Have all the stuff to do it, just never turned it on. I never felt like it was necessary just yet with it. So went to Enos. I run Holley version 6 build 220. Y'all already know about it if you know anything about Holley. There's been a lot of issues. I didn't experience anything right away. I was always Holley V5. Then when we did the latest combination in the truck, I said I wanted to use all the features of V6. Had the dump tables for the transmission dump valves. We had new shifting parameters. A lot of different features were nice. So when we rewired the truck, I set everything up for V6. All the transmission dump valves, shock sensors, everything that it had to offer, we wired the truck for that. I'm talking from scratch. Me and my buddy Tim, we spent days wiring this deal. Whole new engine harness from scratch. This was not just a bought harness from Holley and plugged in and that was it. Built a harness from scratch, bulkhead connectors, the whole 9 yards. So we raced the truck, had a few little odd issues, nothing going on crazy. Then we went to Enos, and that's where it kind of started to unfold. We developed the infamous phantom issues 6 hours from home. Then had some friends out there helping us. Had Dwayne from Biddle Motorsports decided that, you know, let's do V5, and I wasn't having it. We had, I think, an hour, maybe 2 hours before first round, something like that. It wasn't enough time. We stayed up most of the night before playing with some wheels, seeing if they fit on the truck. Woke up that next morning feeling good, had our morning coffee. It was going to be a nice easy day, and started the truck up to warm it up, put it on the brake to make sure everything was fine, and that's when we realized everything wasn't fine. We were having issues that we didn't have before. So luckily Dwayne was there and he's like, don't worry about it, we will switch to V5. In order to do that, you can't just take the tune out of V6 and load it into V5. It doesn't work like that. You have to sit there and one by one, every PID, go by and make sure it's correct. And I was stressed out. There was no way that I was gonna make that happen in that short amount of time. Dwayne says, look, don't worry about it. I got you, finish getting the truck ready. He got it done. He was still on the laptop as we rolled up in the lanes for first round, or a test pass? There was a test pass. So we rolled up there and he was still swapping PIDs. We lost a lot of stuff. My dump valves didn't work. Shock sensors was no longer pinned correctly. Shifter had to change. A few other things. And it was very frustrating because here we are, we had a nice setup, we wired the truck up to use something that we could no longer use, and we're 6 hours away from home. So we got through that. It was a 36 car field. I think it was 36 cars, 34, 36, 35. Okay, Tim's telling me 35. So anyway, around there. We made it all the way down to the final 3. We pulled the rabbit out of the hat on that deal. We got lucky a few rounds, and we put in work a few rounds. We made it through that whole deal. I come home a little disappointed. Me, Tim, Madison, we talked about it. It was very frustrating. And here we are have the best of the best that Holley offers, and we're struggling with stuff that is out of our control. It wasn't wired wrong or anything like that. We were having literal software issues. That's extremely frustrating for the amount of money we pay to be competitive on the level we are. It's our puppy, Harley. He wants to be in the video. So it's very frustrating. So I knew that we needed to address some things there. I could take all my nice wiring that we done, take it apart, repin everything to set up for V5, which is already frustrating enough, or we just go back to the drawing board. So I talked everything over with Hinton. I look up to him on a lot of stuff, bounced a few ideas off him. I downloaded every software on my laptop. I have Holley. I do a bunch of Holley stuff. Through where I work and stuff like that. And that's where I kind of first noticed some Holley issues, to be honest. Had some issues with harnesses and a bunch of random stuff. Just really wasn't impressing me with Holley anymore. Being that I did my own harness in my truck, that wasn't an issue for me. But I still couldn't control the software side of it. So, long story short, I have Holley software, downloaded Fuel Tech software, did Haul Tech software, and that was kind of the only options that I was even putting on the table. So luckily, Nate Bell, a buddy of mine, he big in the racing scene, does a lot of good tuning and stuff like that. He sent me a tune and a data log, and he went over a few of the Fuel Tech features with me to kind of talk me through it. First impression, not gonna lie, I thought we were playing with Windows 98. It was terrible, terrible, terrible. Extremely simple, but just not user-friendly like Holley you would be used to with a Holley setup. He taught me through it. I kind of got a handle on it, understood it. I like the features. Very cool. Same thing with Haul Tech. Downloaded Haul Tech software. It was a little more user-friendly. Same thing. Looked at a tune-up, played with a little bit, and that's where I really started to put the thought process in on what I wanted. What could I get out of what these companies had to offer? I already had a whole Holley setup, as it was, so I didn't want to just throw that away. So, went through that, I played with that a few days, and went over the features, and I finally decided to pull the trigger on something. So I'm going to kind of do an unboxing. We've already unboxed it out of the shipping boxes and stuff like that. Logan over at Dynasty hooked me up, took care of me on everything. He had everything in stock, and the two things that he didn't, they showed up the same day directly from the manufacturer, so had no issues there. And without holding y'all up anymore, I'll show y'all what we ended up going with. You can see that. We ended up doing the Haul Tech setup. Ended up doing their Nexus R5 ECU, full EGT setup, the 15-button keypad, the IC7 dash, and naturally the ECU. So I kind of wanted to show y'all what y'all get with this stuff. I'm gonna go ahead and open up those boxes so we can see what we got. And I'm going to pull the harness out and show y'all so you can try and see. Tim, can you see well on the camera with this?
That's good.
So these right here are Sherlock connectors. These are the same connectors that you have on your Holley ECU. First of all, I really like these. These connectors are extremely nice and you don't struggle with them. First thing I noticed with sun terminated harness is, you see these big pieces of heat shrink right here? This makes life easy. So when you build your own harness, you're going to be moving pins, adding or removing stuff that you don't need. They didn't already heat shrink it. And plus the heat shrink's here, so when you're done, you can finalize the harness. That's badass, Haul Tech. Good job. The Sherlock connectors, you push on the locks, release them, pull the pins out. It's not hard at all. It's extremely easy. And this is their unterminated harness. It's bundled up, everything's labeled. It even comes with this nice, huge firewall grommet here. So that makes things nice. If you want to do a bulkhead, this grommet is more than sufficient. It's very heavy dude. It's very nice. The wires are nice. I just set these in here. These are all the stainless bungs for the headers for the EGTs. It's nothing special. It's just the weld-on bungs. I keep them here so we're not going to lose them. What she opened here is the 15-button keypad. Has a CAN bus plug on the back of it. It's a good size. There's going to be no mistaking what button you're pushing. And this was a feature that I liked with this. So this is what they call a PDM ECU. It's a power distribution module. This was one of the reasons that I looked at this. No more switch panel overhead. No more having an ECU, having a relay panel, having the switches overhead, having to deal with any of that stuff. Everything can be going through this keypad with a nice, simple CAN bus connector right here. Every button comes with, can you open that up? It comes with a bunch of labels, and I'm not going to lie to y'all, it's funny. We were sitting here laughing. It's inside the little booklet, I believe.
Oh, yeah.
We were laughing about the labels. You name it, the labels are there.
Unleash the beast.
Yeah, it's hilarious. So this is what one of the little label sheets. There's tons of them in there. It's funny. They got give me more power, enable swearing mode. It's ass whooping time. It has funny stickers. It has
a turtle and a rabbit.
Yeah, turtle, rabbit speed, headlights, blinkers, everything. So the options are unlimited, and they give you everything. And these are translucent. These buttons light up here, and this was a cool feature. So there's 3 indicator lights below or above the buttons, however you mount this. 1 indicates power. 2 indicates whatever you're controlling being turned on after you press the button. The 3rd light is what I like and I think is very important, is a diagnostic light. If there's an error on whatever you're controlling on this circuit, it lights up. Holly, if you have any issues, good luck. Look at your data log, start digging through stuff, and hope you find it. Or, if you're using a switch panel on Holly and it's something on your relay board, you'll have a pop fuse when using Holly. This tells you everything you need to know. Cut your diagnostic time down tremendously. This was a big plus. Also, it weighs nothing. It feels very nice. It doesn't feel cheap. This was a win. Good job, Haltech. Another reason we got it. This right here is the, they call it the thermocouple amplifier. I'm gonna be simple. It's the EGT box. This is where all your EGTs are gonna plug in so we can monitor that. I didn't monitor EGTs with the old setup. I believe it's another tuning tool. I believe it's another valuable piece of data, so we have it here. Also, Fuel Tech was on the table as well. The reason I didn't do that is because you had to have an add-on box for kind of everything, and I didn't want to deal with that. This ECU, everything is one box. I have this extra box for EGTs, and that's it. You can drive up to, don't quote me, but I want to say 18 injectors and 12 ignition coils. 0 issues. So that's a big plus. I don't know which one's which. Let's open these boxes up here. Okay. So what I have here in this box is the ECU itself.
I got the screen.
And she's got the screen. She has the cool part. Can you close the lid on the box so they can see? This is the whole module, everything. You can see its size. I'm going to say it's comparable to the Dominator, and the weight is extremely close, which is very impressive for the fact that it is a PDM module, power distribution module. What you see here is you have your power lug and your ground lug, and it comes with the connectors for that. These are the power hookups for the ECU. Comes with indicator lights all the way across, and this right here is your little thread-on antenna, because another cool thing, no more cables. She would always get in the truck when we go up to lane, stuff like that, and I'd have to grab my USB cable that I used to hook up to my laptop and pull it out of the way so it didn't accidentally get kicked, stepped on, pulled, you name it. And then we would definitely be stuck up a creek without a paddle if we broke that off. This is Wi-Fi. You can still use a cable if you need, but now you can tune via Wi-Fi. No cables required. So that was a big plus. Like I said, you have your indicator lights, much like Holly did with the Terminator. Dominator doesn't have any of that. So you have any faults you can see here. This thing right here is the IC7 dash. And this is personal preference. It might not be a big deal to anybody. We run methanol, and I push safety pretty hard. I can't afford to get any uglier, so I don't want to be on fire and get burned up from wearing a 5-layer suit or anything with methanol. I wear a 20-layer suit. I know 15 is a minimum requirement. I wear the full 20. The gloves are like wearing oven mitts. So as far as trying to activate anything on a Holly Dash, you can hang it up. You might get lucky, it might work. Most of the time, you're not going to get lucky, and it's not going to work. This dash right here, as you can see, has buttons. It's not touchscreen, it's buttons, and you know when you're pressing something. It's full color. Also, CAN bus connection on the back. So you can see it's not a thick screen. It's Nice unit. Feels very heavy duty. It doesn't feel cheap. The Holly dash is all plastic. This is not like that at all. So back on this deal, some of the features that we liked about it, well, most of the features. It basically has a built-in voltmeter in it. If you're having issues with anything, you have any doubts, I can actually pull up that circuit and see how many amps it's drawing. If you think you have a bad trans brake and you know it's only supposed to pull between 10 and let's say 12 amps, it'll show you if it's pulling more than that. And also, that's a diagnostic tip. I mean, you can use that. Holly, you're not doing that. This thing has also digital circuit breakers basically inside. It's programmable circuit breakers. So when you're setting up any of your outputs, that's a powered output. Let's say it's a 5 amp circuit, you can set it to have a 5 amp digital circuit breaker. So if it draws more than that, it's gonna throw a fault. Literally, there is a check engine light indicator on the dash to tell you there's an issue, and you're gonna know where it come from. There's a whole section on the side of your software that tells you where the issue come from. There's no searching. Like, I can't explain how nice that is. The dash also, like I said, has a check engine light. Literally a check engine light like you're getting in your daily driver. That was a huge plus. Also, Holly, I want to say it's about $600 now, don't quote me, to unlock traction control. You already have it here. Also, you have no built-in accelerometer on the Dominator. Got that in here. That's also another tuning tool that you use. I use a G-meter from Low Dollar in my truck, and we use that as a tuning tool. You can see when the truck is not pulling going down the track. You can basically use that for traction control if you wanted to. All that's built into this thing. I mean, these are just features that was a no-brainer for me. This deal right here also, if you need any tech support, I don't know if any of y'all try to call Holly. Unless you got about 4 hours to wait on hold, you can hang that up. It's not going to happen. Haltech's based out of Australia, and they also have USA offices. If you need tech help during the day, somebody's going to answer the phone. And guess what? If it's 11 o'clock at night, it's daytime in Australia. You can still get a hold of somebody. And let me tell you what, phenomenal customer service. You will not talk to better people. So this was honestly a no-brainer. And I promise you, if y'all keep watching, you're going to see more, especially big-name racers, make the switch over to this. I mean, look, guys, this is all we have to mount. This is it in the EGT box. That's it. There's no spark boxes. There's no injector drivers. None of that stuff. Like I said, and we run big injectors. I had Bill Atomizer 700s. We plan to run something just a little bit bigger now. They said absolutely 0 issues. This is a big deal, guys. And this also gets rid of a relay board, and you can use the keypad now, which is extremely nice. You have all your labels. I plan to actually use that for headlights and everything on the chassis side as well. So this was a good swap for us, because what racing is about is reliability and making A to B passes. And when you can't count on your hardware, you're not reliable and you're not consistent. So it makes it really hard when you travel an hour away from home, especially these days with the price of fuel, and to not be able to race because something silly that's out of your control. It's not a good time and you're no longer having fun. So it's about reliability for us. We want to travel more. We enjoy that. You meet some of the best people in the world traveling around, see new places, and we have a blast. So this was a no-brainer. We're very, very excited about this. Now, the truck and the motor itself is for sale. I've had that truck for a little over 10 years, and I know it seems like we shouldn't get rid of it, but the truck, the fact of the matter is, it's a mild steel deal, has phenomenal chassis work. It's certified to a 750, which is the fastest you can get a certification on mild steel, period. Doesn't matter how many bars you have, it will not go certified for any faster than that. And like I said earlier, I want something safe. I love racing. That's what we do. We do it together as a family and friends and all that. I want to come home every night. So we're talking and tossing around a few ideas on what we're going to do. We don't have anything set in stone yet. As far as the motor goes, it made phenomenal power. Literally one of the baddest 388 cubic inch LS motors in the world. I can put money on it. We showed up to races. People underestimate us, and they learned the hard way. Like I said, we did Texas Radio Roundup. 35 of the baddest small tire cars in Texas showed up. Some people didn't show, but we still had all heavy hitters. Not a single person was a duck. If anything, I felt like we might have been the duck. Everybody's pushing up to the lanes a whole 9 yards, and here we are driving this thing up there, 3,200 pounds, and we're racing cars that weigh 2,600 pounds. It's not an excuse, it's just a fact. So we know that we need to do things to be more competitive. So that's why we're weighing our options. But no matter what happens with the truck, what direction we go, I can tell y'all one thing for a fact. It will always be a first-gen S10 pickup truck, no matter what. You will not see me in a Mustang, no matter how much you like them. You will never see me in a Mustang. I love S10 pickup trucks, first-gen. Whether it's this truck or a different truck, it'll always be that. I can tell you that for a fact. And no matter what engine we use, whether it's Holley or anything else, I think we made the right decision going to Haltech. I sold the Holley setup, lost money on it, as you would figure. Logan took care of us from Dynasty. He didn't have to. He took care of us so. And I think we made the good choice. It's all about reliability, and that's what we're shooting for, and I think this will do everything we need it to do. I know this wasn't a video about racing or making cool passes and all that stuff. We still have some footage that I'm going to upload. But I want to start fill y'all in on some updates, and I can tell you big things are happening. Maybe not as fast as we want, but let's just be honest. It's hard to get parts these days for anything. It's very tough. I'm surprised that all this was even available, to be honest. So the next video will probably be another update, but this one was about the engine management system and what we're doing. And, I think that's going to pretty much cover everything. I'm going to try and keep y'all involved because I know y'all like to be a part of it. And as soon as the truck sells, or if it sells, or when or if the motor sells, we'll take another step forward with our future plans if everything works out. And I'll fill y'all in on that as well. A few things, like I said, I can tell you for sure, it's always going to be a square body S10. It's going to be black and purple, and Mike Henson's always building our motors, period. I can tell you that for a fact. Everybody we have on board is still on board. They're very excited. They kind of know what we're doing. We tossed around the ideas, but I'm not ready to tell y'all just yet. That's going to be in another video. So I think that's going to about do it. You got anything to say?
No, I want my Mustang.
She wants a Mustang. So that's about it, guys. I appreciate y'all. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and let me know what y'all think. And stay tuned. Like I said, the next big update video, you're going to want to hear about it, and I'll tell y'all everything. I've always been transparent with y'all, so I'll tell y'all a little bit of everything. But until then, till next time, like I said, like and subscribe, and thank y'all very much for watching.